Hello, hello. Welcome once again to another edition with the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven, 33-year veteran of comic, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and role-playing games. It is Thursday. That means it's review night, and with me is the review crew, Great Pumpkin, Chris Hall, and
the Great Pumpkin.
And then there's the little shop of horrors below him.
Feed me Seymour. Hello, everybody.
Feed me Seymour.
Nice.
So it's been kind of a crazy week. Oh boy. But I don't know what's going on with you, that you got all your stuff at the last second there read, and then a lot of the books that you were supposed to read didn't come in this week for Chris.
Oh, John, yeah.
No, your stuff.
Oh, my stuff? Yeah. I don't know what's going on with it, but I got some books, so.
Okay. Well,
it's all good.
All right. Let's go ahead and start with Absolute Martian Manhunter number 3 for $4.99. Publishers DC Comics. Writer is Dennis Camp. Artist Javier Rodriguez. Lettering by Hassan Atmane Hilhau. Cover artist by Javier Rodriguez, shown, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. Ian Bertram, Dan Panosian, Riley Rosmo, and Sean Crystal. Editors Sabrina Futch and Katie Kubert. Genre science fiction superhero. Released May 28th, 2025. What is it about? It's a trip to the psychosphere of Middleton as newly minted partners John Jones and the Martian follow the trail of whoever or whatever is responsible for the city, or pardon me, for the surprising, destructive behavior of all the people all across the city and the world. Well, I think every variant cover to this issue is better looking than this cover. This cover, as you can see, is practically identical to the cover of issue number 2, which is right next to it. Imagine that the chair in number 3 is just the driver's seat, scene number 2, and the Martian's just getting in position to point. I mean, it's the same.
It's similar, but, I get it.
They could do better. They could think of better cover design than that. It's kind of weak. Anyway, the story, however, is still solid, and it is still one of DC's top current books in terms of the writing. Art's pretty much on par with the previous issues, but something feels a little bit slighter, a little bit lesser about this issue, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It is more than the redundant cover design. Maybe it's just that I don't want to see yet another failed marriage family situation in mainstream superhero comics. It's like nobody knows how to write functional relationships these days. Yes, I know divorces have gone up since the 1970s. Yes, I know how many people come from broken homes, and you write what you know. But you also have to be able to observe other than your own experiences in life and be able to draw from those people's experiences in your own writing as well. And it seems like today's writers lack that crucial skill set, or that they're all just so self-absorbed they don't empathize or care about anyone else's feelings or perspectives. And that is reflected in this story. There are scenes where the Martian is telling Jones how he misunderstands what he's seeing, sensing. There are scenes where the, quote, air is thick with all the things we think but don't say. And while there's a truth to that in real life, part of the concept of the story, to me, is that Jones's connection to the Martian is supposed to give him new insights and a new awareness, and to the human condition, and thus give him a means to connect with humanity on a level that he didn't before. And that seems to be almost deliberately avoided in this issue, especially with his wife and son. I just don't like it. I found it infuriating. And it's getting very annoying by his third issue, and this is the way they're going to write it. I'm going to stop reading it because it's just I'm not connecting to the character as a result. Books are still, the book's visuals, plots are strong, but if I can't connect with the lead character, you've done something wrong with the story on some level, and he's got to get that figured out. But as you can see, there's the 4 covers that were variants. Every one of them looks a lot cooler than the other one.
Yeah. And The Martian Manhunter is not only telepathic, but he's empathic, right? Isn't he empathic?
I don't know off the top of my head, but
He's supposed to be, I'm pretty sure. And so that would especially give him a connection to the human race and other humans. So,
yeah. Well, no, I'm saying John's John, the detective, the human one, is losing all his connections. And it doesn't quite make sense if you have him connected to you. But anyway,
right.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. I had given the first 2 issues 4s, so you can see it is dropping in quality. We'll take a quick look at some of this artwork. Everybody in town is burning their homes down and killing each other because they're disconnected to their emotions somehow, and all the people's thinking and thoughts are all the multicolored smoke that you see. And yet, when Jones is looking at them, everybody's got smoke around their heads that's supposed to give them brain fog so you can't read what they're thinking.
I see.
So it's I like the art as far as design and stuff.
Yeah, I really dig that pop art design.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really digging it.
You kind of wonder, is that supposed to be a Flash running and throwing a punch in that scene, or
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. But it kind of makes you wonder. But like, this is the scene where he's like not talking to his wife, and all these thoughts that they're thinking are in the color bands, and he's explaining that we're not talking, but we're still thinking these things. It's like, I don't know. But
it's a very imaginative design, though.
Oh yeah, I do like the design of the art and stuff. So, if the art is what keeps you, the writing is getting a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and go to our next one. That's yours, Chris.
All right, we are at Behemoth, numbers 2 through 404, $3.99. Publisher is Dark Horse Comics. Writer Grant Spatoor and Ryan Engel. Artist, colorist is Jay Martin. Letterer Frank Savetkevich. Editor Megan Walker. Tara McCarran. Designer is Draken Reeves. Genre is science fiction, action, adventure. This was released January 15th of 2025, and what it's about: our group of humans who have been swallowed by a kaiju. While on a bus inside the Behemoth, Detective Jack does his best to keep the passengers from turning on one another, while the food truck chef Sarah does what she can to help her gravely injured friend Manny. An ambulance provides hope for medical supplies and radio contact outside the world, or with the outside world, but they'll have to traverse a lake of acid in order to get to it.
Okay, they're paying a little bit more attention to the science in the second issue. I'll give them that. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. In the process, the bus finally bites it, and the group seeks refuge on a French fishing vessel. But their new safe haven may not be as safe as it seems. Bum, bum, bum. With the clock ticking, the survivors hatch a plan to destroy the Behemoth before the U.S. military launches a nuclear attack. In the nail-biting conclusion to this action-packed series, the lives of passengers and the fate of the city hinges on 100-to-1 shot.
Oh, 100 to 1? That's easy peasy. Come on, guys, make the miracle challenge.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is just like every giant beast, kaiju, Godzilla thing you've ever read over the or seen over the last 30 years. Giant monster attacks city, military comes in to deal. Giant monster's cool but not scary, so we have to bring it down to street level with creatures, spawn, or parasites, or whatever, to attack the people and kill people up close. Except this time the twist is the people get swallowed and the street level parasite beasties are inside the creature. And The people are navigating a lake of caustic stomach acid, which, as Lewis pointed out back, which when he reviewed number 1 in January, they should have crashed into when swallowed, and the acid killed them all in issue 1, hence why he wasn't interested in past issue 1, and I'd forgotten to even read the rest of the series, lol. It was still worth the read, in my opinion, but I can see why Lewis was disinterested after number 1.
Yeah, this was just so forgettable. Now, the cover here for number 3 is very nice. And maybe if the whole book had been drawn in this and taken place in Japan and had this kind of art that is that homage to classic traditional Japanese art that isn't manga, maybe I would have remained interested. Now, I am glad that they did realize that they did actually have to play some science up and to some degree with the lake of stomach acid, but they fell way short, in my opinion. And if you hadn't liked the first issue as much as you did, I wouldn't have returned the book at all. But when we start them, I mean, we do have to give it a chance. And so, and since you like the first issue, all right, we'll cover it before we forget completely.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, which one is the one that has the behemoth images?
Right here. Number 4, 6, 7.
All right.
11.
Yep.
Oh, no. Sorry, wrong one.
Oh, okay.
Try 6. I guess they got mixed up.
Okay. What's going on here? It's not what you need to share it. I can't.
Nope, I can't share it.
Huh. Is that
nope,
it?
That's not it. Try number 7 then. I guess they got there. Nope, that's not it either. Try number 7. There you go. There's some art from it. So the art is just kind of like, it's okay, but it's kind of forgettable. I don't know. What do you guys think?
The coloring's blah.
Right. And number 11 is also art from there.
Okay. That looks a little bit better.
Right. Let me get the one I really wanted to show here.
Okay. I mean, that's supposed to be gunfire. It doesn't really look like gunfire. It looks like it's blowing a bunch of wind.
Right. Number 15. There you go.
Okay, somebody lost their leg and is bleeding out profusely, but is staying there.
She's strung up because the French guy who saved them, killed her and ate her. Started eating her to stay alive because he's been in the stomach for like 73 days.
Okay.
And then the number 23 is just, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a cool image.
Come on. Yeah, okay, that's more manga-ish.
Yeah, they had a couple of those in the back, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I gotta share screen now. And we gave it, you gave it a 3 overall for the whole series, I presume.
Yes, because, hey, it was a comic book.
Yeah, I gave it a 2 because I just couldn't get into that.
And I was able to make it all the way through, so,
Yeah, and I just don't like this idea of the heart being that big. And now she's just like in space. Why shouldn't she just be like in one of the veins trying to get through like a blood cell or something? That would make more sense than that to me. But
right.
I'm not into that one.
Well, they did do what is it? The Delve into Mystery, whatever the movie, the old movie was where they shrink down and they go inside the human body.
Mm-hmm.
That
Fantastic
one,
Voyage.
Yeah, they did one. They did one of those. So
yeah, right. Okay. So anyway, the next book is Bronze Star graphic novel for $25. Publisher Baron Comics and Graphic Novels. Writer is Mike Barron. Artist is Pat Broderick. Colored by Rob Epps and lettering by Carlos M. Mangual. Editor Chris Braley. Genre, supernatural western. This was originally released in 2023. Been sitting in my to be read pile for too long. It's a tale of a Civil War vet who kills a powerful landowner's spoiled son after catching him cheating in a poker game. And they send an angry posse after him, and that soon forces him to flee to a remote mining town, where he discovers that the town sheriff is afflicted with lycanthropy, but this sheriff isn't the only supernatural danger lurking in this town. Are you good, Chris?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. What did I think? As with Aaron LaFrosky's Wraith of God, this supernatural western does not disappoint. Broderick is at the top of his game on this. Barrett's running could use a smidge more editing, but it's solid, not solid. Again, this has been waiting on my TBR pile for way too long, and more Fool Live for waiting so long to finally get around to it. I give it a 4 out of 5. Let's take a quick look at the book here. Got a nice sheen, glossy stock cover. This has such a very old school feel to it.
It does. It does.
And I love
who's the artist here?
Pat Broderick, who did he used to do the Spectre and Batman and Micronauts and stuff in the 80s and early 90s.
Right, yeah.
And
that's cool.
I just love the background detail that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just me, or is that kind of reminiscent of Eric Larson? Like,
No.
just a little bit. No, I thought it was. Just more polished.
No, I wouldn't say it looks anything like Eric Larson.
I don't know, man. To me, it kind of does, but that's just my eyes.
Well, for one thing, Eric Larson wouldn't know a damn thing about doing cross hatching.
I just mean like the noses and the eyes just kind of remind me of.
Well, it would be Eric copying him then. But,
probably, yes.
I like how he draw. The kid looks like a kid.
Right? Yeah.
So there's
burn.
So there you go on that one. Again, 4 out of 5. So let's go ahead and get on to the next one, which is Chris's again. We're going to get to you, John, I promise.
All right.
All right. This is The Dark Pyramid, number 2 and 3. It's $4.99. Publisher Mad Cave Studios. Writer Paul Tobin. Artist P.J. Holden. Colors Sarah Colella. Lettering Taylor Esposito. Cover artist P.J. Holden, John McCree, Allison Sampson. Editor is Christina Harrington. Genre is sci-fi supernatural horror. Release date is April 30th and May 28th, 2025. Rating is Teen Plus. What this is about. What is Eve? Why does the government chasing her or even know about her? Did the government create and control Eve? And what the fuck is with the human face sheep things? Like, I really want to know. Becca and Shailene are on the run from General Joe and the horrifying monster he controls. What mysteries and monsters of Mount Denali will start to reveal themselves? Buckle up, our heroines are about to meet some truly strange creatures, but what does the Dark Pyramid have to do with them, and where the heck is Hookie? This book took a really dark, creepy turn. What the hell does this have to do with the Dark Pyramid? I don't know. Is this in relation to the $250,000 pyramid? Can I win some money or a vacation? That would be cool. Why is Eve now listening to the two ladies in her home, whereas she was trying to kill them before? Are they going to do some home renovation? I don't know. Maybe. Is this just a reality TV show? And why do all the sheeple look like they have Abe Lincoln's face? Find out in the next exciting issue of Dark Pyramid, if you dare.
Did I miss something? Reality game show? $250,000 pyramid? Did we read the same comic? Bored now. Sleepy time. Yeah, you can tell I didn't care. You gave it a 3.5. I gave it a 2. Do you have artwork that I'm supposed to be sharing?
I do. So I believe it's number 6.
Okay, let me look.
I didn't have time to name these, so.
Yeah, that looks right.
Yep, that's right. So that's General Cho.
Mm-hmm.
They are in the process of chasing the girls and the alien who is nicknamed Eve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they got that from. Species.
Mm-hmm.
So number 16. And what in the living fudge are these things? Like, these are just the creepiest things I've seen in a long time in comics.
Yeah. Now, on the cover of the 3rd issue, they all look like Abe Lincoln, and inside they don't. But, I was like, that cover is like, what the heck? Is a bunch of sheep with Abe Lincoln's face. What's going on?
Right. We have no idea why they're there. And then the next image, 22, we get treated to this.
Right.
Like,
Blow them all away.
God, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, why? And they're like, don't punish me, please.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just, it was a weird issue. And then like the girls find themselves in Eve's home. I don't know why it's her home, but I guess she says it's her home. And then they're like, what do you want me to do? And the girls are like, attack the helicopter. Okay. So
Crazy.
Yeah, it was just a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, I just wasn't into it at all. I think I read like half of the second issue, right? And I wasn't a big fan of the first issue. This is another one that was just like, yeah, we read this because we thought you would like it, and then,
It's okay. Again, the art is okay. It's nothing special. So
yeah, like I said, 3.5 for you. I'll give it a 2, and we'll move on. Okay, John, your turn.
All right, Disney's Zootopia number 3. Publisher, Dynamite Entertainment. Writer, Jeff Parker. Artists are Alessandro Rinaldi on pencils and inks and Diarbola Kelly on colors. Lettering, Jeff Eckelberry. Cover artist, Trish Forstner, who you're seeing right here, with additional covers by Rinaldi and Craig Rousseau. Editor, Nate Cosby. Genre, comedy and crime. Release date, May 21st, 2025. Rating, teen. What it's about. Under interrogation, the raccoons busted in the great garbage heist at the Zootopia recycling depot revealed what their next target was going to be, and it's one of the fanciest vacation spots in the city. With the furry felon's contact inside the exclusive resort still a mystery, officers Hops and Wild go undercover as new members to try to catch the culprit red-handed or pawed or hoofed. Their first discovery? It turns out that there are way worse places to conduct surveillance than lying poolside in a lounge chair with waiter service. So what I thought, there's not much to say about this issue that I haven't already said about the first 2 issues. I think Parker's writing remains solid, and as always, the highlight for me is the relationship and the banter between Nick and Judy. Rinaldi's art is also solid, and I will say the dew of shading, while obviously still there, doesn't seem to stick out as much as in the previous issues, or maybe I'm just getting used to it. I don't know, but all in all, I think it's a solid issue. I gave it a 3.
Okay, now I do wish Rousseau would do this quality of artwork on Herculoids.
Yep.
This is nice, it's clean. I don't know. Anyway, here's some of the artwork from Alessandro Rinaldi and Deborah Kelly. And, we're going to see if I can get it to open. There we go. You can see some of the gray scale tones that are over the colors. I think it would look better without it, but, because, it's one thing to put on stone, but then to put on the characters' hands and costumes just doesn't. It's like it's overdone a little bit.
No, and this is a Disney book. It's supposed to be bright. Like, that crap is not supposed to be there.
So it works for like the shadow of the walkway over them, and stuff like that. So.
For certain stuff, yeah, but on characters, no, it's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, so it's okay. The donuts look a little flat there. It's interesting, Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other pages here.
But I mean, I think the second page looks much better than the first.
It still has a lot of the same problems, though. I mean, that pink shirt that the elephant's wearing doesn't need to have the scale on it at all.
No. But I like the art.
Oh yeah,
just not the.
Yeah, the line art's good.
I mean, why not put that? Why not put the duo shading on top of the word bubbles too? So
yeah.
Just everywhere.
So anyway, our next book is Howl number 5. If it'll show up, there we go.
If it'll load.
99. Publisher is Ahoy Comics. This is the last issue of the series. Writer Elisa Whitney, artist Morissette, writer Rob Stein, designer John J. Hill, editing by Tom Payer, extra stories by James Fingarner and Joe Orsack, and Bryce Ingman and Elliot Matisse. Genre science fiction, released May 28th, 2025. What's it about? It's Earth's last stand against the body-possessing mushroom invaders as vacation resort becomes the ultimate theater of war. Ziva leads a fight to defend her home, her world, and everyone she loves against everyone else she loves. This series finale has a pretty straightforward conclusion to it, which is somewhat surprising given the work that Whitney had put into the overall series. I am not sure what I was expecting, and I wasn't disappointed in this ending, but it didn't quite hit the landing. I suppose. I don't know. I mean, it's like a gymnast trying to do a really hard, landing of a, type of move, and you didn't stick the landing. it had a little flutter step to the right or something, But maybe I was just looking for something a little more exotic, some extra twist at the end, because that's what her father, Robert Sheckley, would have done if this had been a prose fiction story. But that may very well be why she didn't do it and made it more straightforward, because the story is as much a metaphor for her own self-discovery as a writer as it is a fictional tale. And so maybe that was the conclusion it just had to be. Art's really fun, especially all the dissolving fungi people. The cover here is gorgeous. I do not like the layout in a way, because the way the hand looks, I'm trying to the face, it's kind of weird, the juxtaposition, but it's engaging visually because of the way the smoke is turning her into Two-Face, shall we say?
Right.
And that cover, the actual art itself is really well done. It's gorgeous looking, good color scheme. It makes you want to pitch something to DC with Morissette as the artist. An Elseworld,
absolutely, yeah.
Elseworld story. but I'm not going to say what, because first I have to develop my idea more, and then I have to find out if they'd even be interested in doing it before I talk about it. But
tell me they didn't like dehydrate the mushrooms or freeze them.
No.
Okay.
If you haven't been getting this series as we reviewed it, please do yourself a favor and get and pre-order the trade collection. It really has been one of the best series of 2025 so far. I gave it a 4 for this issue and a 4.5 overall. And Chris didn't get a chance to read it because for whatever reason, where he gets his stuff online, they didn't have it uploaded yet. So,
and I wish I had, because I was really enjoying this series. So
yeah. Oh no, I think I'm sure when you get to see it. No, all they do really is blow cigarette smoke in their faces and they melt.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's a little disappointing.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I don't want to give that away because that would give away the full ending. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting how they do that.
Someone has seen too much of The Faculty.
Yeah, and that's the mom and the daughter, and the guy who's like falling apart is her father, and she's like, "You're done anyway." Punch him out.
Yeah, but the art is still gorgeous to look at. So
yeah, it is. So there's that one. Okay. Our next
I would think, John, that if you were going to read a body horror comic, that would be the one that you would want to read.
Yeah, that would be fair to say. Okay. Our next book is KLOR, Blood and Sand, one shot, from Animal Mystic Tribal Staff Studios for $20. Creator is Greg Williams. The artists are Greg Williams and Kevin Elf Murphy. Covers by Elf. Here there were other covers, but that's the one I picked because I got it through Kickstarter. Genre is fantasy. It was released originally in April of 2023. It's one of those books that have been sitting in my to-be read pile that from when I was off not doing the show. And I was like, we got to get these read. This collection is everything that's featured KLOR in all time. It begins with the one-word story that started it all. There's Way Beyond, which is the full-color story that got published in Heavy Metal Magazine. Then they reprint the 3-issue black and white series, which makes a good chunk up of the book. And then they also have a brand new story penciled by Greg Williams and painted by Kevin Murphy called The Errand. What do I think? Just some good old-fashioned 80s and 90s fantasy style art. The kind you would see like pretty painted on the side of a van.
Right, yeah.
And they tell some decent stories. They're not mind-blowing. And I feel a little underwhelmed by the stories, but that doesn't. It's not because of Greg Williams or what he did or didn't do with the artwork. It's more to do with me putting too much expectation on the book than I probably should have. It's not like Kickstarter didn't show the artwork. I just vaguely remember Williams' art from when I was much younger in the 90s when I first saw it, and I was like much more into it. And I think because I'm older, I'm more jaded, I'm just not as enthused as when it originally came out. Does that make sense?
You jaded? No.
I said I do like the book. I think it was worth my time to get it. I guess I was expecting a 4 to 4.5 stars, and it doesn't quite get there. I give it a 3.5. Because it is a good book. It's above average, but it just doesn't quite get to the top. And again, this is Elf doing the cover. Here's some of the artwork.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks pretty good to me.
Oh, yeah, it does. Here's some of the black and white stuff, which is, I think part of why I don't like this stuff as much as is because this is on really high gloss white, bright paper. And I remember these black and white stories being printed on newsprint, and there was a little more, more of the shading came out, I think, and
Right.
on a newsprint more.
Exactly.
And then there's a newer one that's black and white. This looks better. But what kind of annoys me, and I got to get to it, is in the back of the book. I think. Or it might be in the other one. Yeah, it's in the other one. Okay. We'll get to that in a minute. But this is the one that he did the illustrations and Alf did the painting. And I was just like, that's the Predator with Lucifer from Poison Owl's ears. Fighting against, and it's like, I'm just like, come on, you can do better than that.
Still pretty cool though.
Yeah. So yeah, it was all right. Got no complaint. As far as that goes. All right. Let's see here. Okay, John, you go next with Silverhawks.
All right, Silverhawks number 3, $4.99. Publisher Dynamite. Writer Ed Brisson. Artist George Cambadias. I still don't know how to pronounce that name. Pencils and inks and Ellie Wright on colors. Lettering Jeff Eckelberry. Cover artist Mark Spears, which is shown right here. We have covers by Jay Lee and June Chung, James Stucco, Geraldo Borges, Ivan Tao, Lyrics Lee, Mannix, and David Cousins. Editor, packager Nate Cosby. Genre, action, adventure, sci-fi. Release date May 7th, 2025. Rating teen. What it's about. An ill wind is blowing. On the planet of mimes, the villainous Windhammer is wreaking havoc, devastating the landscape with an ever-escalating series of violent storms. Unable to stem the onslaught, Steelheart and Steelwill work tirelessly to help evacuate the mimes while waiting for reinforcements, but when Condor and the old Silverhawks arrive to take down the threat, Windjammer is ready with reinforcements of his own, and in the aftermath of the climactic battle, the Silverhawks and their legacy will be forever changed. So, well, this may be my most negative comic review to date. And I'm not exactly sure what it was, but just something just flipped for me while I was reading this issue, and I just really started to lose interest. Now, maybe it's because I wasn't a huge fan of Silverhawks to begin with. Maybe it's because it felt like so much time had passed since the previous issue's release that I actually forgot what happened in the previous issue. Or maybe I'm finally getting frustrated with Dynamite books such as this and Herculoids that could and should be better than they are. Or maybe it's all of the above. I don't know. And I mean, there's nothing I can nitpick at as far as the story and art. It's just not memorable for me anyway. And even Monstar's appearance in this issue didn't impress me. So I don't often say this, but I think it's time to call it quits with Silverhawks.
Okay.
And Joey agrees.
Yeah, and we skipped reviewing number 2. Somehow, I don't know how we missed it, but we did. And there was a delay of several weeks because of whatever reason. So the book that only came out on May 7th when it was supposed to come out in late March. So yes, part of why you couldn't remember the previous issues is probably their delays and getting the book out. But as for you not being able to nitpick the art, come on. This stuff is god awful. The coloring is so horrid. The line art by Commodus is almost being buried underneath it, and it looks like bad animation cell art instead of the comics are. Worse is the story, though. My God, we're at issue 3, and they still haven't actually made the Silverhawks team yet. I mean, the real team, not the damn old has-beens who never existed before in the cartoon that Brisson made up. I mean, the real Silverhawks. They haven't even appeared yet in 3 issues. Yeah. Only thing memorable about this issue is the bloody mess of the old Hawks getting decimated by Monstar. And why the hell do we need to see them getting torn asunder and murdered with huge blood sprays? I don't give a damn whether you want to make the book for teens or not. This is not what the hell the cartoon was. If you can't write stories fit for younger audiences, then you have no business writing or drawing these IPs. There's absolutely no reason to have these characters getting killed off for the sake of killing them off to make the villains seem unstoppable and make the heroes look like chumps and not even have the real heroes, trained yet. Oh, and Brisson, bang, you're dead. Again, dumbass danger room banter is not what this book needs. You already shit the bed on the X books. You don't need to repeat yourself. She's Pete's. The only reason they're giving us a star is because of the Stokoe cover that you see on the left here. Otherwise, I wouldn't use this book to line my cat's litter box with, let alone want it in my collection.
Are we going to see some art?
Oh, yeah.
You know, with Dynamite, I would venture to guess that this is simply a nostalgia cash grab.
The Planet of the Mimes. Okay, there's a bunch of stick pedestals. There are supposed to be people over there in the background. Our 2 leads, it's like, why is this even done like this? Do an establishing shot of our heroes, not something where you can't even make them out,
Right.
Then copy the same pose and put it up here and cut and paste in the next panel on the second page. I swear the control panels look like a freaking Xbox controller. It's like, did you copy an Xbox? I look at an Xbox controller and I'll throw some other things onto it. It's like, this is just crap art. The second panel, does she even have 2 arms? The arms blending in with the coat design.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That the coloring is like covering up the line art in this. There's no reason for that. And why all these stupid blank blue screens with fuzz on them? I don't. It's like, did you draw a freaking control panels? Draw something that makes sense. Junk. And here's where they kill. Here he just kills everybody. Okay, cuts one in half, guts the other one, and I'm sorry, but he didn't. Am I wrong? Does it look like his neck got completely cut off?
Yes.
So it's not like that in the next panel over, is it?
No.
So it's like, this is the kind of thing I was like, no, I'm not into this at all. And doesn't that weird Silverhawks thing, that's horrible looking thrust from the machine there, but it looks like a freaking really bad panel or animation design for the Mirage, right?
Well, as I've said on other books, this looks like Google SketchUp that was pasted in.
Yeah.
Colored and pasted in.
Yeah. It's just junk. It's just junk. So,
Yeah, this is not great.
No. So
sorry, Dynamite. Swing and a miss.
Yeah. Swing and a miss is more it's more like give me the back.
It's more like Yeah, it's more like they swung, they missed. The bat went around, hit themselves in the back of the head, knocked them.
No. I'm the referee. I take the bat from the batter and bash them over the You're out. You're out. You're out.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is I think this is more of a nostalgia cash grab than anything for Dynamite, so
I don't know. It just makes me so mad. All right. The next one is Minor Arcana number 7, $4.99. Again, unfortunately, you didn't get this one, did you?
I did not. It was not available.
Okay. Boom Studios publishing, Jeff Lemire writing. The new artist for the series, or at least this story arc, is Leticia Cadanisi. Letterer Steve Wands, colorist Patricio Del Peque, covers by Jeff Lemire, Stefano Simone, Ario Anandito, and Jay Lee and Jun Jung, who need to stop making covers and just go do some comics or something. But yeah, it's like every time I see a Jay Lee cover, I just want to burn it. Anyway, editors at Matt Gagnon, Eric Harburn, and Maya Bollinger. Genre supernatural drama, May 28th, 2025 for release date and what it's about. This is a new story arc. So this is the great jumping off point as well. Okay. Hint. Teresa,
so something finally happens in this issue?
Oh, no. Teresa has reluctantly opened her mom's shop, offering free readings for Limber-Lost residents. She soon receives an odd request. Brad, the husband of her old flame Missy, tells her that a mysterious symbol has been appearing all over the county, one that may have startling implications. What do I think? Even Lemire's gotten bored with this book and has hired someone else to draw it. Now, Leticia Cadanisi does a respectable enough job, I guess, but the story is so damn nothing that it is time I say goodbye to this. The whole issue is almost entirely Teresa and Brad sitting in the cop car talking about a case he's asked her with assistance for. Have something happen in this damn book. Both Chris and I have complained that this thing takes. Do something. Have something happen. 7 issues. There's nothing going on.
Like if she had even done what she did on the cover right there, that would have been cool. That would have been something.
Yeah. I knew I should have given up with the last issue, issue 6, but I don't know why I got this one, but I did. I probably had a road habit. That's it. I'm done. I'm going to show her the artwork. I mean, this is the cover work. And then the interior, it's kind of similar, but you can tell it's quite different too.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, and it's just people talking. This person's in jail, they're talking.
Yep, talking heads.
And then it's just the two of them in a cop car as they drive around.
Whee!
Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. I just, art looks okay, but
you watch, we're going to stop reading this, and in like 35 more issues, it's going to be like, that was the most amazing ending I've ever seen.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see. But yeah. Anyway, next one is Planet Dark One for book 1, $8. Animalistic Trouble Staff Studios, and that is spelled with 2 L's. Just a minute. Our mascot has arrived.
Ah.
Come here. Don't you want to be in my lap that bad?
Yeah, Midnight's like, ooh, sexy cover model. I want to see that.
Yes. Anyway, creator is Greg Williams. Genre is fantasy. This was originally released in late 2022. I got mine with KLOR in 2023. What it's about. From the Void, we bring you Planet Dark 1, Book 1. It contains 3 short stories from creator, writer, artist Greg Dark One Williams. 2 of the stories were meant for publication, but for whatever reason were not printed. And the 3rd story was originally published in Heavy Metal many years ago. What I think about it, this is more akin to what I remembered artwork by this guy being. My only complaint is that the lettering sucks. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. As soon as this little monster decides he has had enough attention. Here he is. I'm here. See everybody?
Hey, Midnight.
The Midnight Monster.
All right. Now, what I don't like about the lettering, gorgeous art.
Yeah.
The lettering is just like, I realize you don't want to cover the art, but you don't make all the word balloons transparent to the art. You know?
Right. And beware of boobies.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that. I just picked it up on that. I forgot I was mature readers. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's the same thing all the way through. You know, it's like you can't hardly read.
Yeah, I gotta wonder why they made that choice. It was an obvious, like, artistic, choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand why they would make that choice.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have against the book, though, is that. So, anyway, I give that one a 4 out of 5. I would have gotten a 5 out of 5 if I'd done the lettering correctly. So there you go. All right. And let's see. I think we got one more. Yes.
Yep.
You finish it off, Chris.
All right. This is You'll Do Bad Things number 2, $3.99. Publisher Image Comics. Writer is Tyler Boss. Artist is Adriano Totolici. Lettering is Hassan Atzoman El. Editor is Courtney Menard. A genre is horror. Released April 30th, 2025. What this is about. As the bodies start to pile up around New York City, detectives Bentley and Maslow are looking for any answers to the questions of what connects these victims. Meanwhile, Seth attends a signing and Q&A for Smile and meets an unlikely companion who may just help solve his writer's block. What I thought, yeah, I know I'm behind. I know number 3 was supposed to be out this week. Couldn't find it online. I will get to it as soon as I can. As for this issue,
what do you think of this cover? Before I go to the next page, Chris, is it just me, or do the arms and the hands look a little bit too elongated and big for the rest of the body?
They do, but otherwise it's very striking. So. And that could have been like a purposeful choice. Like there could be a reason for that we don't know about yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
Art's passable, not quite as strong as issue 1. The story is still engaging and interesting, and there's just enough dialogue to support the visual story without being oppressive. Like I said on Tuesday, I'm getting to the point where I just don't want to read a bunch of text in my comics, and I want my books to be short and sweet, like a tangy type AB margarita, maybe, and to the point. As in the point of an ice pick, perhaps. Can you tell I didn't write this part and that Lewis is putting words in my mouth, or am I just being clever here and pretending that I'm like Seth Holmes?
Well, can you figure it out?
Did I send you a review?
No.
Oh, I thought I did. I'm sorry.
You gave
my bad.
What you gave me was the art is passable, not quite. The art is passable. The story is engaging and interesting, and not being oppressive. That's what you gave me.
Oh, I thought I gave you more of a reading. So hold on. I got to look something up here. I thought I wrote more than that. One sec here.
If you did, it didn't come through on the Facebook that I know.
Let's see here.
No.
This is a brutal. Yeah, I guess I didn't copy it. Says there's a brutal killer on the loose that might be connected to a famous true crime novelist. Seth, the writer, is burnt out on horror after his one and only success in the genre, needing to write his next bestseller and at odds with his publisher because he hasn't done a single thing with it. Seth is trying to write a romance novel, but the characters always end up dying horrifically by a familiar face. Is Seth connected to the killer, or is he just a figment of the writer's mind? The art's passable, and the story is interesting, and the dialogue is just enough as to not be oppressive.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of weird how that came through on my end, but okay. But yeah, either way, it works.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, you gave it how many? 4 still? Okay. So
Yeah. Give it a 4. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I did not read this one, so yeah.
We got some art here from it.
Yep. Okay, it's not doing it. Let's try it again. No. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, no, it wasn't letting me share it. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan of the coloring on this one. It's all kind of blah. But,
yeah, this is supposed to be. This is the beginning. This is like it right in the beginning, and they're showing like the brutality of the killer. But yeah, it could have been a little bit more striking. But I do like these other images here. I thought they were quite well done. I like the coloring. I love the color palette on this.
Yeah. Now let me get this right. They're in New York, right?
I think so. Yeah. Or it just could be like, whatever big town.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, I could have sworn that you said they were in New York. So I'm like, it just doesn't feel like New York to me.
Right.
I don't know. It's just weird, but because I mean, where do you get I don't know. Do you remember seeing open telephone poles like this anywhere in New York City?
I've never been there, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, the first panel looks more like in New York City, or at least a city. But then by the time you turn around, oh no, there's no more landscape, there's no more city building.
It's just gone. Like it's like the tick running out of buildings in the city.
Yeah, it's like now we're in outland desert land or something. But
right. Number 25 is a good image too. But yeah, I enjoyed these. I thought this
looks okay.
Portion of the art was particularly well done. So. And
then you want to there's that.
Yeah, there's a good. This is where Seth comes across the killer that's he's imagining is killing his characters in the books. So.
And he unzips his mask. Okay.
Yes. Got a gimp thing going on.
All right.
I half expected him to say, I didn't do it because my mom beat me. I didn't do it because I was bullied as a kid. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
A little 9mm there.
So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So, okay. Not my thing, not John's thing, I can tell.
John needs to go nappy time. John is tired.
So tomorrow, we got our movie. Have you watched the movie? Have you watched the movie, John?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to.
You, I believe, are really going to like this movie, John. Like really going to like it. Like it's a fantastic movie. This is hands down the best Lovecraft adaptation I have ever seen.
Uh-oh. You're putting way too much.
I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of Lovecraft adaptations.
I can't load mine. You got too many pages up.
Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of these.
All right. Next week for the books, we're finally gonna get the Cobalt Crisis and Fatal. I don't know why. I just didn't get to them this week. We got Let There Be a Devil, Jump Scare, Arcana Royale. Joey, we are going to cover the Fashion School serial killer book that you mentioned, that you thought Chris would like. We were going to do it this week, but Chris just didn't have time to get to it. We got Slasher's Apprentice. We got You Will Do Bad Things, number 3, assuming that they get the copy online that you can read it. We've got John doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, possibly Gargoyles Demona, Metamorpho, Herculoids, and What If Donald Duck Became Iron Man? And more. So it's going to be a big week next week.
That's my best Donald Duck. I can't do any better than that.
Okay. I don't know if are you going to be here, John, next week, or do you have
next week? Yes. Week after next, no.
Okay, so we really need to let John be the star next week.
All right.
As he heads back out into the wilds of the theater.
Off he goes into the wild blue yonder.
And then tomorrow we'll do H.P. Lovecraft's Whisper in Darkness, which you can watch on Tubi beforehand, so you know what we're talking about.
Like, you're going to have to look a couple times and be like, wait, this was filmed in the 60s? Like, it's just fantastic. And I've seen a lot of Lovecraft. I've seen a lot of Lovecraft. HP Lovecraft.
I've watched a lot of Lovecraft. Yeah, I bet you have there, Chris. Anyway, oh Lord. But anyway, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. We'll be back with H.P. Lovecraft's Whisper in Darkness. So if you have questions, comments, you want to reach out to us on social media, I'm on Facebook at Lewis.BrightRaven or at the Muskrat Channel X at LewisBrightRaven2. You can see more of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. If you want to see some of Chris's art, it's deviantart.com/FatBoy73. You can watch and Quote the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven, exclusively on YouTube. Email is quotetheravenlbr72@gmail.com. I'll get back to you. Try LewisBrightRaven@yahoo.com. Or if you want to reach out to Chris and John, it's the Great Pumpkin at ghthrowingstones@gmail.com for Chris, or Gray Figaro at hotmail.com for John. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, folks. Quote the Raven. Nevermore. We're going to get that all in sync at one time one of these days. All right, guys. Catch you later. Have a good one.